So all you guys go to the vibe party.
It was 23 of us.
23 people go to the vibe party. And then at one point, the fire department starts to shut it down.
Now it's only 12 of us. Because them motherfuckers that left, they must have felt something. You know, what's his name? Chuck Bone. That was Puff friend. Yeah, he that was with us, Chuck Bone. They must have felt something and they left and went to Steve Stout's house in the hills. Because Steve Stout was giving a party that day too.
Okay, so half the entourage leaves. Half is still there. You go and grab all the SUVs and have them pull out in front. So when Big and Puff and all them come out, they could just jump in their cars.
And we could leave.
Okay. So tell me about the scene outside as you're waiting for everyone to get in their cars and start to take off.
So first we lined up parallel to the door in which they have to come out, right? You follow me?
Yep.
All right, we lined up parallel to where the doors they have to come out. So if they come out right here, the car's right there. They're right there. So then Big is taking his time because you know his fibula bones and his thighs are broken or whatever like that. You know, they fractured or whatever. So it's taking them a long time to come out. So they get out, Big gets in the car, everybody get loaded up. I said, come on, let's go. We ready to go. Puff is running back and forth like, yo, he'll see a girl, he'll go grab a girl. He said, yo, Gene, remember her, she coming to the party tomorrow. I'm like, remember her? What the fuck is you talking about, bro? I never seen him act like this ever, because he don't act like that. Because even in New York City, once Puff get in the car, he'll leave his mama. We gone, we out. So Puff is like looking, and if you see the cameras, you see him running back and forth, looking and everything like that. So I said, Big, man, what we standing around here for? He said, that's your man. That's your man. And I said, yeah, all right. So then I said, Puff, what's going on? He said, yo, Paul and them ain't got their car yet. I said, this guy's a cop out here and they can't get his car out the garage thing. I got all these cars. I got these cars out of. What are you talking about? You understand? So now we pull out the driveway. When we pull out onto the driveway, now this is the driveway. We pull onto the driveway, and I don't know the street. Is it Wishaw or Fairfax? Which street is right there on the side of that? Is it
Not sure.
Wishaw or Fairfax? Well, whatever street is right there, when you come out the driveway, you got to make a right turn. So we parked up in the driveway. So it's Puff, it's Big's car. And I still think we're waiting for Paul and them car. So now they get, people are coming by. Now, y'all seen a lot of videos, and in those videos, it seemed like it was a lot of people right there, you know, when Big got shot and everything like that. That's on the other side of the venue, where all those people was walking back and forth right there. Because on our side of the street, it was nobody over there. You understand? So this guy in this blue and white shirt comes walking down. So he walks down and he just goes through the garage, you know what I'm saying, while the cars is lined up. I have my gun under my shirt. You know, with my hand, you know, sideways to the trigger like this. You know what I'm saying? You know, you don't put it on the trigger or nothing like this. I got my gun on something like that. So the guy walks through, and now I see Paul. I say, yo, Paul, what's up? He said, yeah, and the guy just kept on walking. I said, Paul, you see the guy in the blue and white shirt? He said, yeah, I saw him. He said, yo, he Puff all right? I said, yo, Puff straight. You know what I'm saying? Just keep your eye on him. So the guy walked away. You know what I'm saying? So then next thing you know, less than 5 minutes from that, hear this guy come down. He dressed in a blue suit, white shirt, blue bow tie. You understand? He comes and he just, it's a pillow right here. Puff is in the driveway. If you walking down the street, you can't see me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm standing right by the pillow, right? So you can't see me. So when he got to the point, because he was walking closer to the curve, than he was in the middle of the sidewalk. He was walking close to the curb, close to the cars. I see him, and Puff is about I would say 10 to 15 yards from him, right? And I'm about 5 yards from him. So the guy, when I come from over the pillow, he stops immediately. And he just looked at me and I looked at him. He didn't say nothing. So I lowered my arm and he could see my gun. He looked me in my eye and turns right back and walks down the street. So when he got far enough from down the street, maybe 4 or 5 car lengths and everything like that, I said, yo, y'all ready? He said, yeah, we ready. So we pulls out the driveway and now we lined up side the street. There's cars parked there from the opening of the museum all the way down to the corner. So we park right there coming out the garage and I see Paul and them. Big's man is across the street. He has a white Land Cruiser. He's from Philly. I think Charlie Baltimore may have been in the car with them. I'm not for sure. So when we pull out the driveway, Paul comes up to me. I say, yo, Paul, you good? You good? Y'all ready to go? You ready to go? I say, all right, because Puff had already made the decision that we're going to Steve Stout's house now. So when he gets up there and he said, yo, we were just leaving. No, we were going to Steve Stout's house. I had got a call from Chaz. I had called Chaz and I let Chaz know. I said, yo, Chaz, we about to go to Steve Stout's now. I said, no, I'm coming down there where y'all don't go to Steve Stout's house. Y'all don't go to Steve Stout's house. And he didn't say anything on the phone. You know, he said, I'm on my way down there. You know what I'm saying? So he had left Steve Stout's in them house. So we parked on the side of the Peterson Museum. So when I said to Paul said we was ready to go, I say, all right, follow us. I tried to ride on the side of the car. Puff said, yo, Gene, what you doing? I said, I'm riding on the side of the car. I'm gonna have my gun out. I'm on the side of the car. At the time, I'm 265. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the 330. You know what I mean? So I was a little slimmer back then. So he says to me, Gene, if you don't get in this car, you ain't gonna never work for Bad Boy ever again. I said, man, how the fuck you gonna try to tell me how to do my job? He said, Gene, we don't need that look. We don't need that look. Get in the car. As I go to get in the car, this motherfucker reached down and let his seat all the way back. So now I got to put my legs sideways. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? And so then Kenny said, you ready? He said, you ready? I said, Kenny, run the next 3 lights. Run the next 3 lights, Kenny. Kenny said, for what? I said, motherfucker, run the next 3 lights, Kenny, or I'm going to drive. Run the next 3 lights. Kenny just took off. When he took off, we got past the light because it was a flashing red light. We got past the light and we got across the street. Tone, who was behind me, said, yo, somebody in the car pointing a gun at Big and them. I goes to open the door. Fucking, next thing you know, you hear it say, pow! Pap, 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 pap. Yeah. 5 or 6 cars was like, pap, 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 pap. Right? Fucking Kenny guns the car going forward. I said, Kenny, what the fuck is you doing? He said they shooting at Big. He said, we don't know who they shooting at. He then goes up the block, stops, and do this 3-point, something like that, U-turn, comes back. And as we coming back, we see the guy turning the corner from the corner. He was parked on the corner because there's no way he could have got on the side unless his car was already parked there. You understand what I'm saying? So now we stops right in the middle, right in front of Big's car. We stops. Puff jumps out the front seat and runs around there to Big's car. All that shit running around the block. I ran down the block and shit like that. That's bullshit. When we got in front of the car, he jumps out the car, ran over to the Big side of the car. So now I'm behind Puff and I'm looking down the block and everything like that. Those girls who was right there on the corner talking to Puff and them, they had, talking to Big and Lil Cease and them. I don't see them. The street is clear. Tone said, Gene, come on, let's go. Me and Tone hops back in the car. And we try to take after the guy. Tone is trying to floor it, but it had one of those government chips in there, the car. So every time we get close to 100, it go, voo, go all the way back down. Voo. So we could see the guy at the top of the hill. Oh, it was a top. We see the guy up at the top where he had to make, when he made a right. When he made that right turn, when we got up the top of the hill, we ain't see shit. So I said, Tone, let's go back, man, to make sure everybody all right. Because I'm the only one got a gun. I got 2 of mine and I gave Paul 1 of mine. So we get back. And as soon as I get out the car, I go down to the Peterson Museum. And I just, that little corner where I said that I was at before the Muslim came out right there, I just chilled right there like it was nothing while they was all at the top. You know what I'm saying? Now they got ambulance, fire department, and the police department on the other side of the museum. Wasn't thinking. Should have ran over there and got the ambulance guys to get it. Wasn't thinking, man, at all. So that's when I see DJ Quick come up the block. He was coming from up the block. And he said on his phone, he said, yo, I think they got one of those bad boy niggas. They said they was gonna get him. I said, they said they was gonna do what? And then Paul come running down the street. Yo, Gene, we about to go. We got to go. What are you doing down here? So I looked at Quick. Quick looked at me. I went away. I went, ran up the street with them, got in the car. Puff got in the car with Big. He was sitting behind Big, right? D-Rock had came back because they all had ran down the block once Big got shot. All that shit Lil Cease said we was behind the truck. You was a lie because you guys come running down the block because D-Rock was like, yo, they shot my man. They got my man. And Puff got in behind Big, and I said to Puff, whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. Don't let him go to sleep. Whatever y'all do, don't let him go to sleep. And Kenny jumped in their car because he said he knew where the hospital was at. And now Tone was driving our car. So Puff said, Kenny, you know what the hospital is? He said, yeah, I know where the hospital is. And Big, he said, yo, Big, I'm going to get you to the hospital. Big, I'm going to get you to the hospital. And Big said, just do it before I close the door. He said, just do it. Lil Cease said he didn't say nothing. But I see he's a 17-year-old kid. He in shock and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? When those shots went off, I heard somebody was on your program say, everybody ducked down in the car. Only one person ducked, and that was Puff. Everybody else was trying to look back or was looking back at the situation. Kenny was driving forward. We all was trying to look back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the car was shot 4 times, with the 4th shot being fatal. By the time Big got to the hospital, he was pronounced dead. He was only 24 years. Yeah, he was 24 years old.
I knew he was dead.
Yeah, he was only 24 years old. Still a young kid, honestly.
Right.
Literally half my age right now. You know, when you guys were outside Did you see Keefy D, any of the Southside guys in front of the museum
seen
before you
Keefy
guys
D.
took off?
I seen Keefy D when he came upstairs. Cause I was want to introduce him to Big.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yo, Big, you know him? Big was like, nah. I said, Big, you don't know him? This is one of what we used to call him back in the day? Head, it's the terminology we used to give to guys who were bosses, back then. I say, yo, Big, this one of the bosses from out there, Keefy D, one of them Crips. He was like, oh yeah, all right. They gave each other dap and that was it.
That was it.